Well, I appreciate you all coming out tonight. We're really glad to have you here, and we're hoping we can answer all your questions about the upcoming changes with the solid waste and recycling program. My name is David Snowden. I'm the assistant to the town manager, and I'm glad to have here Ed Pasek, who will be managing the town's municipal contract. We also have DPW Director Jeff Holland here, and Rosanna Malabar, who is the DPW Business Manager. I think I got that right, Rosanna. All right, perfect. So, just in case you forgot anything, these meetings are being recorded and also aired online again. This presentation will also be posted on the website so you can find this information. So if you need to go back and watch it again, they are shared through Shrewsbury Media Connections website. And I'm going to pass it over now to Ed, and we'll start to go over what to expect July 1, 2019.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We're very excited to be starting service July 1st in the town of Shrewsbury. We're very excited about this opportunity. And tonight we're going to go through some of the changes. There's not a lot of changes, but there's a few changes that we'd just like to bring to everybody's attention prior to our start. So one of the biggest changes, probably the biggest change that everybody is going to notice is the way that we're going to collect recycling. So currently, as you know, you place your recycling out every other week. The change that's going to take place is that we're going to accept recycling. We're going to ask everybody to divide the recycling into commingle and into paper and cardboard, which you already do. But we're going to ask that you put out the paper and cardboard on one week, and then the commingle on the other week. So, in effect, what will happen is there's going to put one type of recycling out every week. So, when you bring your trash to the curb, just remember to bring one of your two recycling types with you. And we have a calendar that we gave out this evening. Also, a calendar was mailed to all the residents in town that has the different weeks. So you can see here, the gold is the paper and the cardboard week, and the gray is the glass, metal, and plastic, or commingle. So when you look at the calendar, you'll see that each week is coded. So if you ever get off track, if you go away, for vacation, and miss a week or something, you can easily look at the calendar and get right back on schedule. And just as a courtesy to everybody, July 1st is a yellow week or a gold week. So that would be the paper and cardboard. So come July 1st, you'll put out only your paper and cardboard, and then the next week will be glass, metal, plastic, and so on and so forth from then on. So that's probably the biggest change that everybody will experience, and we'll take some questions later on in case there's any questions or concerns on that. The next change that we wanted to call to everybody's attention isn't really something that's going to affect anybody, but it might be something that you notice you might have a question on. And that is the way that we are going to collect the material at the curb. So in other words, we're going to take the trash and the recycling at the same time in the same truck. So here we have a picture of what we call a split body truck. This is a rear load style truck. Not all of the trucks that we use in town will have this rear load configuration. Many of them, in fact most of them, will have an opening on the side. We call it a side load truck. But it will still be a split body truck where both the trash and the recycling will be collected in the same truck at the same time by the same driver when they're in front of your house. So there's a lot of advantages to this. So some people have asked at prior meetings, why are we doing this? Why is this type of collection method being employed? And the reason why is that we cut down on the truck traffic in town. So instead of having two trucks go down every street, we just have one truck. And so that gives us the ability to cut back on traffic, cuts back on noise pollution, cuts back on wear and tear on the roads. And it's also a more efficient way for us to collect the materials carbon footprint here in town, as we're not burning the same amount of fossil fuels in the collection process. So it's really a great method, and here in Shrewsbury it was a great it's a great fit for this type of collection service. So what everybody we'd like to remind everybody to have your material out at the curb by 7 a.m. That's nothing new, but just a reminder, because the routes are going to be run a little bit differently now. And so what you could expect is that the trash and recycling will not likely be collected at the same time they're currently being collected now. The days will not change. All the collection days will remain the same. So in other words, if your material gets collected on a Monday, it will still be a Monday. If it gets collected on a Wednesday, it still will be a Wednesday. But the time of day will likely change. So we'd just like to remind everybody to have the material at the curb by 7 a.m. One other thing that I'd like to point out too is that because our vehicles will only be collecting on the street side of the truck, which is to say the right side of the truck, we will go down one street. We'll go down a street and collect only one side at a time. And as we collect only one side at a time, we may be on the other side of the street and notice the truck drove by, collected all the homes on one side, but didn't collect the homes on the other side. Don't get nervous if you're waiting for the truck to come back, because the way we collect is that truck will keep going along and keep making as many right-hand turns as possible, and may make the next right-hand turn, and then the next right-hand turn after that, and it might go down a few other streets in the neighborhood before it makes it back in front of your house, where you're already collecting the other side. And we do that for a few reasons. First of all, the truck is loaded from the right side. In most cases, it's going to be loaded from the right side. So this is it's more efficient for us and our drivers, but it's also safer for the community. We're not going to have trucks cutting across the other side of the road, across the lanes of traffic to collect on the other side. You're not going to have a driver or a helper in the back who's going to run across traffic to collect material from the other side of the street. So that's not part of the way we collect. It's not safe for our employees. It's not safe for the people on the roads. So what we want to do is, what we will do is we're going to collect everything on the right side and just keep moving along, and eventually the truck will make it back to the other side of the street and collect over there. So don't be alarmed if you see one side collected and your material is not collected yet on your side of the road. And I think this is probably the final change that that will be instituted, and that's just the method that we're going to collect bulky items. So right now, everybody can purchase a sticker and leave the bulky item out on the day of your regular collection. But what's going to happen effective July 1st is you will still require, bulky item collection will still require a sticker purchase, but you'll have to call Waste Management to schedule the appointment. And the reason why we're going to have a change on this is because all bulk item collection will be conducted on Mondays. So we won't know that there's an item in front of your house to be collected unless you call to set up the appointment. It's going to be a different truck that will come and handle all of the bulk appointments. So we just need to know ahead of time that you have an item there ready to be collected. So the other thing that we also like to point out as a convenience, if you don't want to go to the store and purchase the sticker, you can also, when you call in to Waste Management, you can call in and purchase the sticker over the phone. It won't be an actual sticker. You kind of look at a confirmation number indicating that the sticker was purchased, and there's a $5 fee that goes with that. So again, it's up to everybody here how you want to handle your bulk items. If you want to go to the store, it's still $10, nothing's changed there, but it's just an administrative fee that we charge for the what we handle on our end. So it's a $15 over the phone purchase if you choose to take advantage of that. It's totally up to you how you want to handle that. So that's pretty much it for the changes. I don't know, David, am I missing anything here? Oh, I guess we'll talk about this too. So what we want to do is try to communicate with everybody the best we can. So if there's something that is in the bin, recycling bin, that's not acceptable, and we'll talk about all of the do's and don'ts in a minute, but if there's something that's not acceptable, we will leave a sticker on the bin. We have a image of the sticker up there explaining exactly why it was left behind. So we just basically want to let everybody know, that it wasn't it wasn't an accident, that there was something there that couldn't be collected. And so one of the things that we have on the sticker here is right on top. Commingle/paper recycling will be collected next week. So the idea there is, in case people get confused as to which week is which, we're able to just circle which week it is and kind of indicate that material will be collected for the following week, just to let you know why it was left behind. So any questions that come up, you can always call us. We have our number. I think all over the place. We had it in the presentation. It's in everybody's mailings that you've received. So feel free to call Waste Management if there's any questions on the program. And am I missing anything?
I think we can move it up now.
Sure. So one thing that seems to be a very kind of a hot topic is what items are recyclable and which items are not recyclable. So that seems to be the kind of taking the bulk of our questions. So I guess what we'll do is, why don't we open up to everybody. If you have any questions specifically about the program first, and then if you have questions about recycling, we'll talk about that next. So anybody have any questions about the program, any of the changes? Yes, sir.
Like these plastic containers, metal containers, we rinse them out? Are we supposed to really rinse them out? Or?
Oh, so the question is, do we need to rinse out plastic containers such as the milk bottles, milk jugs?
Yeah, soda things and...
A quick rinse is recommended. A quick rinse is good. We don't want, first of all, we don't want containers that still have liquid in them, just to be clear. And then if you have food containers, little jars, yogurt, whatever, things like that, a quick rinse would suffice. They don't have to go through the dishwasher. Just a quick rinse is good.
What if it's like a salad dressing container? You can't clean those.
I mean, again, you could rinse it out, and it will probably... Oh, sorry. So the question was, what about a salad dressing container? So salad dressing containers, you're probably still going to have the residue from the oil in the salad dressing bottle, but again, just a quick rinse is sufficient. It doesn't have to be squeaky clean. Yes?
On this paper, when we leave that out, we still leave it in like a paper bag in the supermarket, like from Trader Joe's, like we tend to do that, but someone goes with it, and then...
So the question is can paper and cardboard materials be placed out at the curb in a paper bag? And the answer is yes, paper bag is okay for those materials. The big distinction that we want to make is that no plastic bags are allowed in the recycling. So I know it's a common misconception because the plastic bags are made out of plastic and we recycle plastic, but plastic bags are not compatible with the curbside program. If you have plastic bags at home that you'd like to recycle, same thing goes with any kind of plastic wrapping or anything like that. You can bring it to your grocery store, where there's a lot of different grocery stores where they have the plastic wouldn't want recycling bagged either. So we want all the recycling to be loose. We don't want it to be in plastic bags. Yes, sir.
Clamshell containers.
So clamshell containers are good. We have that up here on the list, but the one thing I'd like to call to everybody's attention is that black plastic is not acceptable. So sometimes you'll see takeout foods will have the black plastic bottom with maybe the clear top. The black plastic is not acceptable because it's not compatible with the optical sorters that are found in the material recovery facilities.
What are you saying, the clamshell ones are acceptable? You have it up here as a no.
It says no.
It says no on your list.
Oh, does it? Oh, clear.
Good clamshell containers, no.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, I misread that. I thought, Dave, what did we look at the other day? Because we looked it up on the recyclopedia.
Yeah, that's what this thing is here.
Yeah.
Clamshell container. Yeah, what's a clamshell container?
Like when the one your strawberries come in, like your fruit.
The fruit and all that.
Strawberry. Oh, okay. That goes in regular trash.
What about the prescription bottles? It has the triangular number on the bottom.
Right.
They're not going to be acceptable?
No, so a couple things. So the question is prescription pill bottles, really any pill bottles for the most part, but especially prescription ones. Prescription ones are considered medical waste, number one. So that's, a lot of people don't realize that, but that's one reason why we don't want that. But the other thing that excludes pill bottles and other small items is the fact that the sorting machinery will not accept materials that won't effectively sort materials that are less than 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches. So all these small little items, like a pill bottle, would fall through the sorting mechanisms. So they effectively would not be recycled. So no. I guess one other point I'd like to make, you mentioned the recycled triangle. So one thing that we're trying to get away from is the notion that if it has the triangle with the chasing arrows as a number in the middle, that it's recyclable. We want to try to change the mindset out there where we want to look at more at what the item is and not the plastic resin coat that's on there. So just to kind of let everybody know, that symbol that is commonly considered to be the recycling symbol is actually not a symbol that indicates recyclable or not. It's just a code that's used by the plastic industry indicating the type of plastic that it is. So what we're trying to do is point people in the direction of what type of item is it? Is it a bottle? Is it a can? Is it a jar? That's recyclable. Because you could look at various electronic items, you could look at various kids' toys, or all kinds of other items that are made out of plastic, and notice that it has, a lot of these items have those chasing arrows in the triangle, but we don't want those items in the curbside recycling program. And that's not just waste management, that's the whole recycling industry. So that's, I guess, just sort of a change that we're trying to get out to the general public, is to think of it a little bit differently. Don't think about it as the arrows. Think about it as, is it one of the items that is recyclable or not? Yes, sir.
I'm curious about why no shredded paper.
Sure. No shredded, so the question about shredded paper is recyclable. Shredded paper is not acceptable at the curb because what happens is the shredded paper is, again, it all has to do with the sorting material. And imagine what our, it's not even going our facility, but all the facilities are the same, or similar in the sense that they're all conveyor belt driven. So all the material gets put on different conveyor belts at the sorting facility, and then it goes through these different processes. Well, the way that shredded paper behaves amongst all these different conveyor belts and all the different machineries, it just kind of gets thrown up in the air and it just turns into confetti. So if you were to go to one of the recycling facilities, what you do is, what you end up seeing is just shredded paper kind of everywhere in all the little nooks and crannies around the facility. It doesn't get captured. So shredded paper can be recycled at shredding events, because those are the types of events where the material can be captured and then recycled. But it's not, it doesn't work in a curbside program. Yes, sir.
Do we have to separate cardboard from paper?
No,
We used to have it.
no, that's not required.
Oh, so I do apologize. The town is working on its server service, right, so I don't have internet access. I will be able to clarify the actual clamshells. I think it's a distinction between the types of plastics.
Yes.
Well, like a clamshell salad container, that's recyclable. Like a clamshell strawberry containers, those are recyclable. It might be referring to a different type of plastic. I'll clarify that and make sure it goes to the town's website.
It says clear.
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to the paper, the bags, I didn't disabled. I actually have a wheelbarrow,
Okay.
especially during the winter.
Yes.
And so I don't have a system. I don't have messing with my system, but okay. I really appreciate about that. I really like the fact that you do one pickup, though, and I don't have to wait 2 to 4 hours in between to go out. Anyway, but so what I normally do is I put my recyclables like the food should be recycled bin, and then I have my paper bag with the recycled whatever on top. Put it in a wheelbarrow, and then I actually put a shower curtain liner over it, because in the winter, because I have to put it down the night before. So if it snows, rains, whatever, and I actually had someone drill holes in the wheelbarrow so that snow, rain, and water would go through. So now you have to do this actually twice a week, because I have to bring it out and then I have to go and treat it. Because,
So you would,
but I'm just asking,
yeah.
do you care if your paper bags are wet? Like, Pellegrino was like now you recycle, now you're accepting, I watched your YouTube video before. Now you're accepting pizza boxes, whatever. And, I'm just asking, like, there was nobody that mentioned anything about inclement weather, or bringing them out the day before. People who are disabled and senior citizens, and myself, having to do this the night before because I can't get out there at 7 a.m. every time. So that's why I did what I did, because they were actually thanked me for doing this. So much so that they actually pushed my wheelbarrow back towards my garage for me. So I'm just asking, do you have, like...
So, I mean, is the question, do we accept the material if it's a little bit wet? Okay, so, yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's a few questions wrapped up here.
Yeah, I just didn't know if I'm going to continue to do it, that they take only the blue bin out only on the weeks that it's permeable, or you still want me to cover the paper bags so that they don't get wet, because I'm going to have to pay and throw back in the wheelbarrow anyway, just in case, because these like animals, they could get into it. I don't even have breath.
So it sounds like what your system is that you bring the wheelbarrow out, you have your page throw bag in there with the recycling also in there, you cover it over with the shower curtain.
And then I put the page throw bag on top of it. I actually used to have cats and kitty litter, so it was heavy, but that's another issue, because it got frozen overnight, like in the winter time, and now you have a 20 or 25-pound bag limit or something, and I don't know how much.
Okay, so-
Kitty litter.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing,
Sorry.
that's all right, as far as the water goes, I mean, the way the program is set up for the whole town, there's not a lot that can be done on a rainy day. I mean, this is what you're going to get. So, I would just say, if you have the ability to put it out that morning, that would be the best case scenario. But the material's going to be, if it's a little bit wet because it's raining, there's nothing that we can do about that. We're not going to leave behind all the material, and that doesn't make any sense. So I think in your case, you could continue to bring the wheelbarrow out. I don't know if the shower curtain is going to be necessary. It might, it may not be. And maybe that'll be a step that makes it easier for you.
Well, I'm just covering the paper, wet paper, so that
Yeah.
the paper's going to make it snow.
Yeah, and I think if you did that, that would be fine, Yeah.
You guys don't care, you don't care that it is, like, I feel like you guys actually thank me for doing this, is I don't like to pick up, when the bag rips and everything falls out of it.
Right. Yeah, no, I think, I'm sure the driver would appreciate that, but when we're going to be picking up 10,000 locations, it's going to, most of them are going to be, if it's a rainy day, most of them are going to be wet. If yours isn't wet, all the better.
I just don't want to make it an inconvenience, because I understand you only have a driver, and the driver's doing all the work.
Yeah.
So I didn't want it to, like, make it longer, like, for him to have to pull it off, and then,
I think if we become aware of your situation, and we'd be happy to help to accommodate you, the best we can.
they really do need to be put on, I think, before we just can't.
I think there might be a little bit of a learning curve for certain unique situations like this. So our driver may not know all the details, so maybe we could talk after, and I could try to get your address, and then we could try to pay attention to that.
Similar situations too with different streets that might be more difficult to drive on. The drivers have been already reviewing the route, so there may be some exceptions to the rules, so they may be backing down the road instead. So I think the drivers are going to be learning and adjusting as the program continues.
Yes, sir.
I've got a question about yard waste
Okay.
and the pickup and any weight restrictions. And is it going to be a separate truck or?
Yes, so the question is about yard waste and how it will be collected. So there's 7 yard waste weeks that, 7 weeks when yard waste will be collected throughout the year. It is a separate truck that will be coming through town to collect yard waste. And as far as weight restrictions go, I think, was there 100 pound?
Yeah, it's the same as current, I just need to check the weight.
There's no changes to the program.
I think it was 40 pounds.
Was it 40? Okay. If that's what it currently is, then I just know that there are no changes there.
It's like per bag, 40 pounds?
Yeah. And I mean, for the record, our drivers don't have a scale, put down, they're not going to be weighing the bags. I mean, it's going to be more a matter of, can they safely lift it up or not? So if it's 45 or 50, I mean, nobody's going to know. Yes, sir.
Is there any way to increase the number of drop-off days for yard waste? Because my sense is right now it's really inadequate for those people who don't have lawn services.
That's probably a question more for the town. I don't know if you want to.
That is something that we are reviewing. It won't be offered this spring. We do have the collection days on the schedule, and it's something that we're working with the DPW to see what our options are. We do have limited space and limited amount that can then be brought to Wheelabrator. Jeff, you want to talk any more on this, or is that pretty reasonable?
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Okay. Yeah, so there will be more to follow.
Yes, sir.
It says that you can recycle aluminum foil. What about when there is, say, baked on food waste?
Yeah, so any kind of, along with any of the recycling, we don't want any food contamination on there, as little as possible. It has to be clean, that's really the idea. So if you have a clean foil, yes, it can be accepted. Yes, sir.
Are vitamin containers considered the same as medical containers?
No, I mean, they wouldn't be considered medical necessarily, but if they're small, they could be less,
Not small.
like a big,
That are a little larger.
then that would be fine. That should be fine.
What was
was the question?
The question was about vitamin containers, if they were considered the same as prescription pill bottles. And they're not considered medical waste or anything like that, but as long as they're larger than 2 by 2 by 2, they would be perfectly acceptable.
So what if you had like a big prescription bottle?
It still would be medical waste.
Still,
so,
okay.
yeah, we wouldn't want that. Yes, sir.
So I'm curious, if we can offer like a place for us to bring bulk if we want to take it.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
A place to bring in bulk waste, we want to bring it ourselves, I mean, at our cost, but if your facility, like Harvey has one for transportation.
Yeah, so no, we don't have anything like that. So I mean, you could continue to bring it to the Department Transfer Station if that's something you wanted to do. I don't think that, does the town have anything?
So, the waste management will offer white good collection as well at the curb, so that's like larger appliances. And there's some information on that in the flyers. The town is reviewing some options with NEDT as a hazardous waste site. That's currently something we promote, but we're trying to see if we can create a contract with them in the future where residents can bring things. Something to be on the lookout for is this fall, October 2018, there will be the first hazardous waste day in 6 years. So that'll be another place you can dispose of things. It's not exactly all bulk, but those are items that are usually more difficult to get rid of.
What is the date again?
It's October 2019, the 26th of October. There'll be lots more information on that posted.
It's a Saturday.
Yes, it's Saturday.
Will that be in town, or will we have to go down to Sutton?
In town.
Yes, ma'am.
Pizza boxes, solid pizza boxes, they have to go inside the trash bags because they can tear the trash bags. Will you place them under?
So pizza, this is a change that a lot of people aren't aware of, is that pizza boxes are recyclable as long as they don't have food in them. So previously, the direction that everybody was given was people didn't want to, pizza boxes were not recyclable because they tended to have the oil and the grease in there. The oil and the grease really isn't an issue any longer, but food remains unrecyclable. So if you have a pizza box that has an oil stain or a grease stain, that's fine. But if you have a pizza box that still has 2 slices of pizza in it, that's not okay. That's where the distinction is made.
I wanted to add one thing as well. The items that Ed are going over, this has been like a list that's been developed by all the haulers across the state and Mass DEP. So it's a universal recycling list. I don't even know. And all the haulers and communities that have programs are operating the same manner. This Recycle Smart image you see at the top of the PowerPoint right now has a website. You can type in items and you can type in pizza boxes and it'll let you know if it's recyclable. It will give back the same information that Ed was going over. And I apologize, I was hoping to be able to load this up tonight. I was unable.
Yes, sir.
Like I have 1/4-inch electric drills and a Sawzall that's junk. What do I do with those?
Trash.
Goes right in the trash. Okay, it's a lot of metal there.
And if it's rechargeable batteries, that's all you
Yeah, well, that's right. If it has batteries, the batteries are not trash. Those would have to be disposed of separately. Give a battery.
I do know that Home Depot in town does accept some rechargeable batteries. They also accept some CFLs, compact fluorescent light bulbs. And there is some more information in the flyer about the recycling of batteries and such.
Health Department accepts button batteries.
Oh, and there's on now, just reminded me that the health department in Shrewsbury accepts the button batteries, the small circular button batteries.
Yeah, and the Shrewsbury Senior Center takes them too.
That's right.
And the Shrewsbury Senior Center also accepts the button batteries.
What about regular batteries?
So regular.
Just AAA batteries.
Yeah, regular alkaline batteries, I believe they can go in trash. But it's the button batteries that are an issue because they have mercury. Yes, sir.
Garden hoses, recyclable or trash?
Trash. Yes, ma'am.
The cardboard, I know it has to be flattened. But is there a limit on size that it should be, or should it be cut if it's bigger than a certain size?
2 by 2 is the standard. Yes, in the back.
On the ad on TV, it says something about a white something.
White goods?
What is that?
Okay, so the question is what are white goods? So white goods is a common name for appliances and other large electronic items. Well, I just say basically appliances, metal, largely metal, sometimes plastic appliances. So that's what white goods are. So your dryers and your washing machine, refrigerators, stoves, ovens, things like that. Way in the back, yeah.
I had a couple of questions. One of them was on the boat waste pickup. How far in advance do you have to call to get something picked up? Do you call Friday afternoon?
Yeah, so we would say if you call by Thursday, you can have it picked up by Monday.
The other thing was...
That's a great question, by the way, we'll make sure we add that information. Thank you.
Yeah, because, otherwise, 3:30 Friday. The other thing was, like, we've been able to just tie a bag to something that didn't fit the bag that weighed less than 20 pounds. Can we still do that?
I had some trouble here, but did you say, could you attach a bag to an item that didn't fit in it, but it was less than 20 pounds? Yes, you can still do that.
And then the last question was, milk cartons and juice cartons, or wax cartons, those are trash now?
Yes, that's actually that's something that legitimately was recyclable previously, but that is a change that has been made more recently. So we call those gable top containers or cartons, but just for the sake of everybody in the room, the question is what about waxy cartons for juice and milk? Sometimes broth comes in cartons like that as well. Those are not recyclable anymore. So that's a great question. So just kind of want to highlight that for everybody here is that if you're currently putting those in the recycling bin, we ask that you put those in the trash from now on.
What about the little Capri Sun packets?
Those would be trash. Yes, sir.
I noticed that you're going to be doing the Christmas tree pickup. In the past, we've had it at Christmas time, you had one free bag that wasn't a Shrewsbury bag, just a regular trash bag. Is that still going to be in effect?
Yeah, we decided that that would be in effect. Yes, sir.
If I bring stuff out to the curb in a taller barrel, is that still acceptable for recycle?
I think, David, there's a limit, right? You have
32 gallons.
32 gallons? So 32 gallon limit is what the town set to go on.
Okay, but if it's acceptable today, it's probably fine then going forward?
I would say so, yeah.
For what? I'm sorry, what was that?
So the question was, gentleman in the back had a taller bin for recycling, and he's using that today for recyclables. Would it continue to be accepted? I would say, for the most part, as far as size and anything like that goes, I mean, if you're doing it today, we're not making any changes to any of those requirements. Yes?
Where can you get new bins?
The DPW has them available for a small fee, $11.
You can also use your own bins, and you can get free recycling stickers from the DPW, and you can put them on the bins.
Yeah, we have like just a trash can. We put a recycle bin on it for the mixed stuff.
Yeah, that's what I used to.
Yes, sir.
And the full-size version of this is not acceptable?
No, that'd be correct, yeah. Yes.
So for paper recycling, do you prefer it to be put into bags or just pile it up in?
The preference is loose. The looser the better. So if you have a bin and you put your newspapers and magazines in there, that's really the best. That works best in our system. I say our system, it's not actually going to a waste management facility. As far as the material facility is concerned, there's no change there. It's going to continue to go to the same facility it's currently being brought to in Auburn. But it's the same process whether it's a waste management facility or any other facility. It's largely the same So there was a bidding process that took place, it was a public bidding process, and, you know, I don't know, Dave, if you want to say more about it, but that was pretty much it. I mean, the town had a selection criteria, and, you know, if you want to say any more about it.
And you're doing it for free?
What's that? Nobody put a bid in for free.
It would be nice, but unfortunately now it pays, you have to pay to recycle or get rid of most things. But yeah, the current contract was for 5 years, and usually the town would have about a 5-year contract. That usually works well for the municipalities and the haulers because they amortize their materials and equipment over the course of those long contracts. So the town put out a bid in the end of October, November. We solicited proposals from a number of different companies, and after that process, Waste Management appeared to be, or was the most advantageous for the town, both in cost and service provision.
Yes?
Currently, we take our cardboard and we break it down and put it in a cardboard box. Is that still the way we should do it?
That's okay. Yeah.
The question was, if you use a cardboard box as a recycling container, and it is, as long as it's not like a refrigerator-sized cardboard box.
Great point, yeah, and it's also, if it's going to be used for paper and cardboard, that's, you know, not for your recycling items, yeah.
Can corrugated still be brought down to the town barn?
Correct. And we're also working on getting a larger compactor for the cardboard to help for both residents and the DPW staff.
Sometimes you go to Tubus Farms and you get like the things for the strawberries and stuff, and it has like a little coating of wax on it.
So is
It's
it
not
like a
really-
paper bag that has a little
No,
wax?
it's like a big cardboard,
Oh, is it wax coated cardboard?
just a little bit, yeah.
Wax coated cardboard is not acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's common, you know, for different produce items, whether it's, you know, a farm or a grocery store, they have those types of materials, it's not acceptable.
Okay.
Yes?
The open containers that you provide for recycling, when it's a windy day, the recyclable containers, the bottles and all, they fly all over. I will pick up mine, but what if the neighborhood and everybody, they don't pick up which the wind blows? Do you have any solution for that?
That's, I think that's just kind of, goes with the territory when you have open bins. You know, I don't know if there's any solutions that you've seen in the past. I mean, I know in the industry there are covers that are available for bins. So if everybody had a uniform bin, you could get covers, but you know, because everybody has to have the same bin, there's a cost to the containers, to the covers, it's a slower process to service, so they're not common. Most places that have the type of service similar to what Shrewsbury has, just has the open bin. So I don't know if there's a really good solution to paper that gets blown around on a windy day. Unfortunately, I think that's just...
This is not an immediate solution, but we did have a very excited school group of younger kids that want to see if they can solve this, so they're working on making this a project and see if they can roll it out in town. It doesn't give you an immediate response, but it's something people are working on.
Yes, sir.
I've got a question about the plastic pay-as-you-throw bags. Why is Shrewsbury restricting businesses to use paper bags, and then they're still using plastic? And is the plastic going into the Wheelabrator incinerator, which is even worse?
Is the question, you know, why are residents being asked to use a plastic bag to get rid of the trash, but was there a
Well, it's
bag?
a pay-as-you-throw.
Yeah.
In the old, I've been in Shrewsbury since '79, we used to just put loose trash in the barrels and they'd dump them in the truck.
Okay.
Opposed to now where you gotta buy the bags split open, you got a double bag, and
Well, so I mean, as far as the material goes, the plastic goes, I mean, it is all going to be disposed of at Wheelabrator, so there's no issue with that. As far as, you know, the bag system goes, I mean, generally it's just more sanitary and clean to have bags and loose. And then as far as my understanding of the way the program's financed is that the bag purchases actually help pay for the whole program. So I don't know, Dave, you want to say any more on it?
I think I hit a lot of the main points. As for the incineration at Wheelabrator, I think Jeff might be able to help out with this. The plastic bags that are getting incinerated at Wheelabrator are no different than a normal trash bag that would be purchased. The costs generated from the pay-as-you-throw bags offset about 50% of the total solid waste program. So it does help reduce the tax levy burden that would be used to pay for the solid waste program. And it helps residents identify what they're using and encourages recycling.
Like when we leave it out overnight or even during the day, the animals get in it. So, yeah. Yeah, I've never seen a crow attack a trash bag like you would not believe. So do the people kind of scoop it up and throw it in the trash? There's nothing that we can do about it. Like I double bag, I use a black trash bag and then I put it in the blue bag. But they kind of like scoop it up and put it in the truck now.
Yeah, so I mean, if our drivers get to your location and the bag's totally torn apart and the trash is all over your yard, I mean, I'm kind of trying to create like a worst case scenario here. I mean, we're not going to collect it all. If the bag is kind of picked apart a little bit, or the bottom might be kind of ripped out from an animal, our drivers will do the best they can to collect what's there and not leave a mess.
And this may not be the best solution for every resident, we understand that, but there is the option of maybe having your trash bags in a bin or a container, and the driver is able to open the container and take the bag out. And that does help prevent the rodents if they do go up that corner.
Is there a maximum number of bags that you can put out?
I don't think so. That's I guess one of the advantages of the pay-as-you-throw program. So other programs that don't have you buy bags often have a limit as to how much you can place as a curb. So the advantage of this type of program is no limit.
And it's the same thing with recycling. There's no limit on the number of recycling containers that you have out.
Yes, ma'am.
A little bit more clarification on the, like, plastic milk containers still go in the recycle, but not, what's a gable top?
So the gable top containers it's a carton. So if you have a milk carton or an orange juice carton, that's a gable top container. And those are not recyclable, but if you have a plastic milk jug, that is recyclable. Yes?
So two things. The little juice boxes, those are coated, so those are not recyclable?
Correct.
Okay. And the foil on top of the yogurt, little yogurt containers, I see that that's not recyclable? What if it's still attached to the
I would just pull it off.
okay, because foil is recyclable.
But that's a pretty small piece and it's going to likely be covered in yogurt.
All right. Well, not if you rinse it out.
True, but it's still small.
Okay.
Any other questions? So maybe this might encourage more questions. Be on the lookout at the beginning of July or the second week of July. You may receive a mailer that looks like this. It may also come with some pink bags. The town is offering a textiles recycling program or a simple recycling program where you would put those items in this pink bag, no cost for the bags get replaced automatically, and those will get picked up on the same day as recycling. It is separate from waste management, but the town is rolling it out at the same time. This will help get some of those other materials out of the waste stream. It includes textiles, there's also some pots and pans that can be put in